Episode 10. Here we go. Right, yeah, we're back. Just a little predictor episode and baller of the weekend, donkey of the week before the weekend, lads. So we get straight into it. The first game that passed. Right. First things first. We do baller of the week from the weekend's games that have just gone. It's going to be quite a tough one, I think, because I don't think there's any sort of particular standout players. But we'll work our way through and see what we come to. We're without Patrick and Strug tonight, but they've sent me through that their baller of the week, donkey of the week nominations, as well as their predictions. So, I'll read them out as and when.
This ain't got a yappy dog.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Ray Whittaker.
Ray in the background, yeah. Right, first things first, baller then. We'll start with you, Hoppers. Baller of the week.
This was a tough week, like you say. I think I'm going to have to go with Benteke because he's sat on the bench for 3 years, done nothing since he scored. He hasn't scored since he scored at Anfield, I don't think, about fucking 6 years ago. So, and then comes up with that goal with incredible technique. So I'm going to go for him.
Benteke, fucking hell! It's the first time he's ever been called a bowler, I think. He'll have it.
Take it.
We go to you now, Jonesy.
My baller is the one and only Jay Lings. Only because I went with him because he's sort of been a bit of a breath of fresh air for West Ham since coming in. I thought West Ham were going to go through, drop a little bit, but for me, he sort of given them that little kick to push them on. So. And he scored the winning goal against against Tottenham, really, didn't he? So his goal was the winning one.
Yeah.
So I went with Lingard, yeah.
Well, Jesse. Lingard.
Go on. Are you going to do it? I thought you was going to do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least you didn't do the stupid hand gesture. There he goes. Fucking idiot. Boyle, we'll move on to you, mate.
Kyle has absolutely stolen my thunder here. I don't like the bloke, but I've gone for the same player, Lingard. I think he's the difference between them potentially finishing, 4th, 5th this year. I think he's got that bit more quality, and that finish was very good. Don't like him personally, but I think he deserves a lot of credit for the way he took that goal. And ever since he signed for West Ham, he's played very well. So it was a toss-up between Benteke's and Lings, but I'll go for Lingard for me.
Fair enough. Can't really knock it, mate. I'll call out one of the boys that ain't his nomination, and it's Strug. He went with Harvey Barnes at Leicester. Basically, he says it's all because he can't pick Declan Rice or Lingard because it's his own team. So that's why he's gone with Harvey Barnes. That's his reasoning. Next in, Greg, we'll go with yours.
Yeah, I went with Harvey Barnes also because carrying on from the Liverpool game, obviously he scored in that, and then he went and scored again against Villa. And I think he's doing all right at the minute, and he's a very dark horse for the Euros, in my opinion.
I wouldn't even call him a dark horse. I think he'd be a shoo-in by the time the end of the season comes.
Well, potentially, mate, yeah. But I mean, at this point in time, I think with everyone that's sort of in and around them sort of positions, I do think I think he's close. But by the end of the season, he might be there.
Mm-hmm. We'll go to you, Dave.
It was a tough week to pick, to be fair. But in light of what he's done pretty much the whole season, I thought I'd go for Souček. I know he didn't score in that game against Tottenham, but I think it was a corner, and he's jumped up for a header, nutted the back of someone's head, split his whole face open, and then as he's hit the deck, he's just jumped up ready to block the shot. And it was just refreshing to see that from a modern footballer. It was a bit of a throwback moment. So I thought, you're my baller for that.
Baller for smashing his boat in.
And getting up, yeah.
Love that. Ben, we'll go to you next, mate.
Yeah, that's a good shout, Dave, to be fair, mate. I think it's nice to see stuff like that. So that's a very good point, mate. But like Hops, I went for Benteke. I thought he probably didn't deserve it as in being baller of the week, but just making sure that he got that shot on target is so key for Palace. Them 3 points could be the difference in their season. So
Yeah, true.
he's my shout this week.
Nice, Benteke. I'll go with me next, and then I'll call out Pat's, which will leave Spearsy with a decider. So my one that I put down was also Jesse Lingard. I call him by his real name rather than that stupid fucking thing Kyle calls him. Yeah, he's been a breath of fresh air for West Ham, really. I never was a massive admirer of him. I didn't think he was anything special. Thought he went through a period where he looked quite tasty, going into that World Cup as well with England. But he's surprised me since going to West Ham. He's actually looked the class above. And like you said, Matty, he could be the difference between them making that step into qualifying for Europe this season. And he also was, whatchamacallit, he was with that fit bird Jenna Frooms as well, that Instagram model. I don't think he's with her anymore, but he deserves props for that as well. So fair play. Fair play, Jesse.
She's with an NFL geezer.
Yeah, she is. No, she's with Jason Derulo now.
Oh, is she with Derulo?
Yeah. But
Riding solo.
Lingard was steaming into it for a short period of time. So props for that as well. He needs a nomination just for that as well. Then I'll move over to, like I said, I'll call Pat's out before we go to you, Spearsy. And Pat's, he could be a nomination himself for Donkey just for what he sent me on this one. Which is Pat's exact words on his text. Baller equals Ashley Barnes, an unsung hero for Leicester. Really upped his game this season. Scores and assisted last week, I think.
Who also plays for Burnley.
So yeah, I said back to him something along the lines of, "You stupid bastard." Ashley Barnes plays for Burnley. I take it you mean Harvey.
Obviously busy with a dog.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, I'll rate him.
Too busy spreading the peanut butter out at the time, I think. So, so that leaves us in a position, Spearsy, with you've got the deciding vote. As it stands, Harvey Barnes is on 3. Jesse Lingard's on 3.
Ashley Barnes is on 1.
Yeah. Benteke's on 2 and Souček's on 1. So, Spearsy, who's your baller of the week, mate?
So it was none of them, but on the decider. So mine was actually John Stones, because he had Aubameyang in his pocket all game. He's sort of been left out of the team. He's come back this season, taking his chance. He looked absolute class against us. But out of those, to settle it, I'm going Jesse Lingard as well. I mean, how quickly he's...
If you wanted to go with Stones, if that's your call, go with Stones, and it's a joint baller then.
Yeah, please do.
A joint baller. I think we got
go Lingard.
No, fuck him off.
Go Benteke.
Yeah, if yours was Stones, that is a fair point as well.
Yeah, okay, we'll keep it with John Stones then.
Yeah, so John Stones is yours, which means that it's shared then between Harvey Barnes and Jesse Lingard, which, to be fair, it's a fair point. They've both been good this week. So, yeah, so it's a shared baller this week.
There you go.
Next, we'll move over to Donkey of the Week, which, again, there's no real standouts.
Yeah,
it's going to be quite a few nominations thrown about here, I think. I'll get Pat and Strug's Donkey nominations through first. So Pat basically said, from what I can remember, no one stood out as having had a stinker. So I'm going to say Hector Bellerin, just for simply being out-jumped by Sterling for that City goal, which, again, that is a fair point.
Yeah, I would have said Rob Holding.
Yeah.
Fault for that, but
was it Holding? Was it? But
it was Holding who got jumped. Yeah.
So Pat's fucked up completely.
Pat's had a fucking mare.
Someone getting some beans for Christmas.
Yeah. And then Strug's nomination is fantastic and straight to the point. Donkey, Eric Dyer, fucking dog shit. Basically what he said to me. So,
That's Tottenham, then he Strug.
Yeah. That's Dyer nominated. And then I'll start us off then, boys, with us lot that are on here tonight. I've gone with Hugo Lloris as my donkey. I think we mentioned it on one of the previous episodes, how he sort of slipped under the radar a little bit when we've spoke about goalkeepers. He's been making a few, they're not outstanding howlers as such, but he's letting soft goals in. And he done the same in the West Ham game, mate. It doesn't look too difficult to get a ball past him at the moment. and it's relaying into Tottenham's form, isn't it? Let's be fair. So yeah, I've gone with Hugo Lloris. We'll go to you then, Ben, for the next one, mate.
I was really struggling to pick one this week, and I've got to say, now that Rob Holding's come up, that was a great shout. But I'm going to stick with who I picked just because I might as well now. And it was West Brom's Sami Ajayi.
Sami
I think
Ajayi,
he got a red card after 30 minutes against Burnley.
Ben's froze, is he?
He's gone.
That's a great post, by the way.
I think
Let it go, Ben.
Yeah, I think Ben's froze, guys. He's having issues with his Mac tonight, so he's dialed in on Zoom on his phone.
Big Mac.
But he's
got his name in.
Yeah, looks like he's had a technical problem, so we've lost Ben, but he's gone with Sami Ajayi. We'll go to you next, Boyle.
Well, mine was a toss-up between two keepers, Carl Darlow or Lloris. But I'm going to give it to Lloris. I think he's been terrible this season for Spurs. And, you know, London derby, he's made a poor error for the first goal to set West Ham sort of on their way to victory. It wasn't much in it between him and Darlow. I thought Darlow was poor for Newcastle, but they've got enough problems as it is, Newcastle, without me giving him Carl Darlow a donkey. So
he's been decent lately, to be fair.
Yeah, well, he was poor against Man United, I thought. But yeah, I'm going to go with Lloris as well.
Fair shout, mate. Mr. Greg, over to you.
I've gone with one of my own, but he ain't playing for us at the minute. Minamino for slapping the badge after playing for him for 2 games.
Oh, that weren't this. Oh no, it was this week. They played twice, didn't
they? Yeah.
So
what a donut.
Minamino.
Donkey.
You're just fuming that your best players have fucked off to Southampton.
We could do with his goals, to be fair, but fuck him.
To be fair, even Bednar could get a game for you at the moment.
Oh, easy. Yeah, we ain't that bad. I'd rather play the kids.
Yeah. Hoppers, over to you, mate.
Like you said about players going under the radar, I've been out shit they've been. I'm going to go for Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think over the last few weeks he's just been, like he's not even playing. He just looks like he's not interested. Mistakes galore, giving the ball away a lot, and obviously that little trip up for the penalty. So I'm going to go for him this week.
Greg, look, I can just see the fucking anger piercing through your eyes there, son.
It was a trip up.
He had all right game. Apart from the penalty, he had an all right game for once, for a little while.
It's overrated.
Just a Liverpool hater, mate.
Yeah.
Kyle Jones.
Yeah, I've gone with Lloris, and for whatever Tell said, I'm going to say the same. So that Hugo Lloris, full stop.
Full stop.
Nothing else to add.
Spearsy?
Going for Thiago. I think, you know, with the reputation he's got and the career he's had, with Henderson having to play out of position and Fabinho being injured, that Liverpool really need him to step up, and he's just, I didn't even notice him in that Everton game. It's been like that for a couple of weeks now, but I said no one stand out. I thought I'd give it to him.
Yeah, good call, mate. He has been pretty dreadful, to be fair, since signing for him. So,
Greg's fuming.
Yeah.
No, I'm in agreement. I didn't really think of him, but he's been shite.
Greg's just buzzing. It's the first week. Alisson ain't got donkey. And last but not least, Dave Scott, over to you, mate.
Yeah, I struggled as well, but I'm going to give it to Tottenham as just a whole team. They've just been shit all year, and they've gone under the radar massively of how shit they are. Like, they're only a few.
Well, they ain't. They were top of the league.
I know. They were talking.
Smash Man United.
About in the first month, they were talking about winning that win at Old Trafford, all stuff like that. Oh, Mourinho's the saviour. The football's not great, but he'll bring us trophies. And now look at them. And I still don't think they're getting the full amount of shit they should be getting for where they are. Like, they're playing West Ham there. We all know West Ham's on good form and playing well this season, but They needed to win that game, and they were just shit. So yeah, Tottenham whole team.
You've been dying for that, Dave, haven't you?
Good lad.
Well done, Dave. Good stuff.
Right, well that secures that then. The donkey of the week is Hugo Lloris, and baller of the week is a joint effort between Harvey Barnes and Jesse Lingard. So there we go.
Is that 3 weeks in a row? It's been goalkeepers then.
Yes, yeah, it is. So far we've had Gareth Bale, Alisson twice, and now Lloris. Yeah.
Have to get Rolfie on here to goalkeepers union.
Right, now let's go over to our predictions for the upcoming games, boys. First game in, we'll start with Man City, West Ham. I'll call out the boys that are not here first. We'll go through them, and hopefully Ben joins us throughout and can chip in with his ones. Strug has gone 1-1. Obviously, being a West Ham fan, he's rooting for him. Doesn't think they'll lose, so he's gone with 1-1. And Pat has gone with a narrow Man City win with 2-1. I'll put mine in next, and I've gone with City 2, West Ham 0. Just think they'll have a bit too much for them. They're not conceding a hell of a lot themselves at the moment, Man City. And I just think West Ham will struggle to contain them and keep them out. So I think 2-0 win for City. If we go to you, Boyle.
3-1 Man City. It shows how good Man City are when they're just, the amount of games that they've won. And although West Ham are playing relatively well and in good form, I just don't think they'll get near them. They might score a consolation, but I think City will be way too strong for them.
Nice one. Greg?
Yeah, I went with 3-1, mate, to City. I just think West Ham have obviously been playing brilliant lately, but I just don't think they've got enough. And they might hopefully get a goal, but I don't think they've got enough at all. So yeah, I went 3-1, mate.
3-1. Kyle, over to you, mate.
3-0. I can see what people are saying. I fancy West Ham to take a consolation, but
we don't. You've gone 3-0.
No, but I've gone different because I want to try and get the points. I've gone saying just different to everyone. I've I reckon. Yeah, I just can't see him conceding. I think Diaz and Stones at the back at the moment are just unreal. So, although West Ham are a bit of a threat, I just fancy a 3-0. And I hate midday kickoffs. That's why they're always weird ones. I've never got one right. So
Aka ruiners, mate.
Yeah. So I'll be a 3-0.
Nice one. Hoppers?
I think City might struggle a bit when they're away during the week in Europe, and then the early kick-off Saturday, so they might struggle a bit. But I reckon, like you boys have said, City are just going to keep the ball away from them, starve them a bit, and maybe nick a 1-0 win.
1-0. Spearsy?
2-0 City for me.
And Dave Scott?
I think 3-1 as well.
3-1.
Yeah.
No faith in the Hammers from us, boys.
That's the score.
We'll leave Ben's blank, and we'll get him to sort of, if he joins in before the end of the recording, we'll get him to throw his shouts in. Next game in is my boys Leeds against Aston Villa, who, by the way, are without Matty Cash and without Jack Grealish going into this game. We're still missing Calvin Phillips as well, and Rodrigo, but just putting that out there so you boys are aware. Pat has called that Leeds will win 2-1, and Strug has gone for Desmond 2-2. So, yeah, I'll put mine out. I reckon we will beat them 2-0. We were missing a few players last time we played them, and they had full strength, and we beat them 3-0 at their place. So, to be honest, I think the way we play, they seem to struggle to live with it last time round, and I can't see they would have made much changes. And while they're missing Cash and Grealish as well, they're big players for them. So I think we'll win quite comfortably 2-0. We'll go with Dave Scott next.
I think 2-1 win for Leeds is what I'm feeling. Yeah, 2-1 win Leeds.
2-1. Spearsy?
Always stick a Desmond in, and this is going to be it. 2-2.
The weekly Desmond.
That could be our new segment, the weekly Desmond. We'll nominate a Desmond for the week. Hoppers?
I think your boy's going to have a bit too much from. So, like you say, a couple of good key players out. So I'm 2-0 as well.
2-0. Jonesy?
3-1 Leeds. Again, I just think you're going to be too much for him. Too much.
3-1. Gory?
Yeah, I went with 2-1 Leeds, mate. I just think you'll have again too much. I think even though you had a couple of losses, I think your form just shows that you've got some players that can really win a game. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously Grealish being out, I think they'll still get a goal. Like they've got the threat of Watkins and whatnot. So 2-1 for me, mate.
2-1. Right, let me just get Ben back in because he's rejoining. Hopefully he's on his computer. Oh,
All right.
where is he? Are you on the computer now, Ben?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah,
Good man.
Crystal Palace.
Right, we'll catch you up quickly. So we've done our Man City West Ham scores. If you just throw yours out first, go Man City West Ham. What's your prediction?
I've gone 2-1 City. I think West Ham will give them a good game, but City will show their class.
2-1 City, and then Leeds versus Aston Villa.
Oh, you're not going to like this one, mate. Nah. I've gone for a 2-2 draw. I think Leeds will be a bit more entertaining as usual, but Villa have had a good season, so it'll make a good game.
I don't know if you're aware as well, they haven't got Grealish or Matty Cash for the game.
Okay, 3-2 Villa.
They're all. Boyle, last but not least, mate.
This is. I think Leeds are going to win, but as to what the score is going to be, I'm going to go for a narrow Leeds win just to not jump on the bandwagon. 1-0 Leeds.
1-0. Right, next game. Crystal Palace, Fulham, which is huge.
Muck off.
0-0 all round. Pat has gone for 2-0 Palace win, and Strug has gone for a 2-0 Fulham win. Let's go to you, Ben. What do you think?
First of all, I wrote down a draw, 1-1, but I'm going to go with 2-1 Palace. I think Palace are going to take something from that game, the Brighton game. Not that they deserve to nick it, but take a bit of confidence from it. And I can see Palace getting another win here. 2-1 Palace.
2-1 Palace. Boyle.
Exactly the same as Ben.
Really?
Yep. I think Palace will. Fulham have been on a decent run, and Palace will be very tails up after that big relegation battle that Benteke just might have got them out of. And I think they'll. Yeah. I think Fulham will score, but Palace will nick it.
Nice. Greg?
Yeah, same again, mate. I went with 2-1. I think, yeah, it's a bit like what Boyle said. Fulham have been on a good run and that, but Palace now, I think they'll take a bit of solidity from that game and have a bit of a high. So, yeah, I went with 2-1.
2-1.
Home win.
Yeah, I really want a Fulham win because I actually really want to see Fulham beat relegation, to be fair. But this is going to be my Desmond. I'm going to throw a 2-2 in.
The weekly Desmond. Hoppers.
Yeah, I'm going to go the opposite to you boys. I think basically Palace are going to sit back now. They're as if they're on the beach already. Now they got that 3 points. They're just going to be cruising. And apart from me being asleep before full time, I think it's going to be 2-0. Fulham.
Not the early kickoff, is it?
You're not watching that one live then? No?
I might watch the first 10 minutes. Get me on.
Get your slippers on.
Might be a goal fest, mate. Burnley's 3 goals away from home at Palace. Who knows what's going on?
True.
Spearsy?
I've gone 2-1 Fulham on that one.
2-1 Fulham. And Dave Scott?
I reckon 1-1. I think Fulham are going to be hard to beat. Palace will play well, as we've said, I think, from the result they had the other night. But I don't really see a lot of goals coming from Palace. And I think Fulham will be quite happy with a draw in the circumstances. So 1-1.
1-1. It is a good shout. I was tossing up that in my head as well, 1-1, because Fulham are a draw specialist. I think they've got the most draws in the division. But I don't know, even though Palace won the weekend, they looked worse than ever. They're fucking dreadful. And Fulham have just shown so much in the last few weeks. That's without a loss now in the last 4 games. Win 1-2, drawn 2. And I think they're going to get another win. I think they've got a lot of momentum behind them and they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Newcastle, I think, only 3 points ahead of them now. And Brighton are only 4 points ahead of them. And I just think they'll have a bit too much and sneak a 1-0. So I've gone 1-0 Fulham. Next game, another big one, Leicester Arsenal. Me and Strug have both gone for the same scoreline. We've gone with 2-1 to Leicester. I personally think they're going to have a bit of a point to prove as well after that Europa League result that they had last night. I think it was to Sparta Prague. They're, I think that'll light a fire under them, and I think they'll be up for this big time. And Pat's gone for a 1-1 draw. So we'll go to you, Dave. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think they're gonna. I don't know if that's done us any good, them losing like that in the week, because we're gonna have a bit of a backlash. But hopefully we can take something out of our result as well. We're due a result against these. We've had the last few times we've played them, it's not gone our way. So hopefully we can turn that around. But I've got a feeling it's going to be a draw. I think 1-1 again.
1-1. Spearsy?
Yeah, they're a bit of a bogey team for us, Leicester. Vardy always nick a goal, but I'm hoping our tails will be up a bit after that result yesterday. It's a 3-1 Arsenal.
Ooh, confidence. I like it, Spear. Boyle.
Confidence to not so much.
No. I hate going it. The only time I've ever gone against Arsenal in the predictor was last week, and it was because it was Man City. Well, I just knew we had no chance of winning that game. But I'm on the same wave as Spear. I don't think it'd be quite convincing as 3-1, but I think I've got a feeling we're actually going to turn up this week against them. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win.
2-1.
Thomas Partey's fit now, and he makes such a difference to our midfield. Ceballos just sent himself back to Real Madrid after the loan, after what he did against Benfica. I mean,
it was a great back pass, wasn't it?
And it was his fault, in my opinion. It was his fault for the first goal when he hung his leg out for that stupid tackle he did on the edge of the box. I know the free kick was a worldie, but he's got to be on the bench. Partey and Xhaka in the midfield for me, and I think Aubameyang will carry on his scoring form. I think he'll nick another goal or a couple of goals.
Fair play, mate. Just as an update, Pat's texted me back after caning him about his Ashley Barnes nomination. He just texts back, "Fuck's sake, Harvey Barnes." So he knows he's fucked up again. Over to you, Hops. Leicester Arsenal, mate.
I'm going to go with Spearsy. I think 3-1. Leicester, although they didn't have Harvey Barnes playing the other night, but I really think they missed Maddison.
Or Ashley Barnes.
Yeah, or him. But they really miss Maddison, I think, playing these out with Hickins. So I think Arsenal are going to do them. 3-1.
She's going to do you.
The only one who didn't get mentioned was John.
Over to you, mate. Salvage this.
Oh.
And
I don't know what to say. I reckon that Leicester are going to send back down, and I'm going to go 3-1 Leicester. I don't know who's going to score.
3-1 Leicester.
Oh.
Yeah.
Greg.
I don't know.
Oh, mate. I've gone with a high scorer, mate. I've gone with 3-2 Arsenal.
3-2 Arsenal.
Don't really. Yeah, I just.
Or a couple of doors down.
I think obviously Arsenal have made a good result, obviously against.
Yeah, that's it.
In the UEFA Cup, the Europa League, whatever you want to call it nowadays.
Right now.
Boyle, mute yourself.
Leicester coming off of that loss. I know they've got Maddison out, but as you say, Vardy loves a game against Arsenal and that. So, yeah, I just went with a high scorer, yeah, 3-2, mate.
Was it 3-2 Leicester? Sorry, Greg.
No, Arsenal.
Oh, to Arsenal. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, gone with a 3-2, bro.
Hopper's distracted me there with his...
Oh, he's killed me.
Yeah.
Killed me.
Podcast, yeah. Next game, Chelsea Man United.
Well, don't it matter what I think?
Oh, have I not gone with yours? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, mate.
I forgot
you was back. I forgot you was back.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
That's all right. I mean, all I was going to say was Leicester having a great season, Arsenal having a shit season, which is fantastic, of course. But no, more to my point, I was going to back up what Greg said, really, and just say that I think Arsenal will turn up for this game. It's one of their games where they need to win, then they can go and lose another 10 after this. So, yeah, I've gone 3-2 Arsenal.
3-2 Arsenal. They're desperate to get back in that top 10, aren't they? Ain't happening. Next game, then. Sorry, Ben. We'll go to you again, mate. Chelsea Man United. Go on, you can start.
This is the easiest one of the lot, I think. Seriously, I've gone 3-0 Chelsea. I think, like playing in the big boy competition.
Kyle Space.
Kyle Space. Oh yeah.
No, what do you mean? No penalty.
I
think 2-0 there in your car.
I think Chelsea in the week will gain a lot of confidence from that win against Atletico. Playing with the big boys, I think they're going to be full of confidence in comparison to recent weeks where I've kind of backed Chelsea to win, but maybe only by a goal. So I think 3-0. United are just going to be United. They might end up making it 3-1, but I'm going 3-0.
Kyle, come back at him, mate. What do you reckon?
No, I can't. I have no confidence in this team at all. So
No,
we might win. Again, we might win, we might lose, but I'm going to go 1-1. I just think we're going to cancel each other out. I think both teams. I think it'd be a very tight game. No one's going to want to do too much. It's just going to, but I reckon there'll be a goal. Or goals. So I'm going to go 1-1.
Fucking hell, you've covered every fucking angle on that game. There, you've predicted wins, losses, draws, goals, nothing.
I want the points, didn't I? I want the points for this little league.
Well, I'll put mine in next. I've gone with big fat 0-0. I think both teams are going to be so desperate to not lose that it's just going to be boring fucking snooze fest. Yeah, 0-0. Dreadful game. Pat's actually predicted the same thing. He's gone with the same as me. He's gone 0-0.
What does he know?
Yeah. And Strug's gone with a 1-0 Chelsea win. So we go to you next, Boyle. What do you think?
This is a tough one to call, to be fair. I see Man United scoring a penalty.
Here we go.
I think on the same lines, I think they're going to cancel each other out. I think it'll be a 1-1.
João Cancelo. 1-1. Greg?
Yeah, I went for a 1-1, mate. I just think Tuchel won't want to... He's been pretty solid, isn't he? I think he won't want to lose the game. And I think, although United are second, they're not playing great. And I just think, yeah, it'd be quite... Normally is quite boring at Stamford Bridge, isn't it, when they come to town? So, 1-1.
1-1. Hoppers?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a boring chess match, to be honest, like you boys have said. I think Giroud's going to have a bit of a bullying of Lindelof and Maguire, though. So I think we'll just nick it. I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1. Spearsy?
Got 2-1 Chelsea as well. They've looked pretty good since Tuchel took over, and I think a bit of a way from that result during the week. So yeah, 2-1.
And
Chelsea.
last one, Dave Scott.
This is going to be my Desmond. I see. I agree. I think they're probably going to cancel each other out, but I see a couple of goals each. So yeah.
Weekly Desmond for Dave. We should actually bring that in, that we all have to do at least one Desmond.
Desmond, yeah. Sounds good.
It does, yeah. We could start that from next week. That'd be a good crack. Right, last game of the lot. Relegation battle. Sheffield United versus Liverpool. I'm going to start us off here, and it's really fucking hard because every week we've done this so far, I've gone, Liverpool got to come good eventually. They've got to come good eventually, and they've lost every fucking game. And I don't know. It's really hard for me to what to pick here, but I'm going to say it again. They've got to come good eventually. And I'm going to go with just a 1-0 Liverpool win. Surely that's not beyond the realms of possibility for them. So I'm going to go 1-0 Liverpool. Greg, what can your boys do this week, mate?
Well, I've gone big. I hope that they can come back and actually, I know Henderson's out now again, but we've surely got to have too much for Sheffield United. I mean, if we ain't, then we've got to be looked at properly. But I've gone with 3-0, mate. I'm going big.
3-0. Confidence. Don't know where you got that from, but Pat's actually gone with the same scoreline as you. He shares your optimism, mate.
Fuck me, I'm fucking alive.
And Strike's gone with 2-0 to the Scousers. So clean sweep so far. Benji, how many is Sheffield United going to win by?
I'd love Sheffield United to win. Of course I would. Who wouldn't? But no, I mean, like we've said it week in, week out. Liverpool have got to come good. I mean, they've got to. I mean, whether they play well or not, they've got to get a result somewhere along the line. Yeah, and so I've gone 2-0 Liverpool again. If I'm proven wrong, it's a bit of a win-win because obviously if they lose, then great. If Liverpool win, then points on the board. So yeah, 2-0.
Boyle.
Yeah, like you said, it's got to change sometime. I'm the same. Going to go with a 1-0 win to Liverpool. I think they'll have too much, but I don't think they'll make it easy for themselves.
Jonesy.
That's it, really.
Well, I put the Euro Millions on tonight, and their motto's dream big, so I'm going to dream big with this one. 2-1 Sheffield United. Pile more pressure on them shitters. Yeah, I just think with Liverpool at the back at the moment, any team's got a chance. So, and you know what? Why not? They're going to be fine. So, come on, Sheffield United.
I'll tell you what, Jonesy. If you're right, mate, that they are banging shit. Like,
will I get double point for that or no?
You should really if it comes in, but no.
But like you say, and hopefully, yeah, put Klopp under more pressure. Let's get him more aggy. Do you know what I mean? I love it. I'd love to see it.
I love Greg's reaction to it. It's just fucking not changed. He's gonna be on the blow at you after this, I think.
I didn't know he hated us so much. Not.
Listen, everyone hates the big, the good teams. He was a good team. Like everyone hated United all these years. So that's all it is, Greg. Don't take it personally. We're still fellow DJs.
Okay, mate.
Hoppers.
Thank you.
If I remember right, I think Liverpool, even when they had their strong run, they've struggled against Sheffield United. They probably beat them, but I think it's the games they've been quite tight. But like you said, I think they've got to come good sometimes. So I'm going little 1-0 win for Liverpool.
1-0 Liverpool. Spearsy.
I've gone big. I think it's time they woke up and found their form. I'm going 4-1 to Liverpool.
4-1. Jesus.
Get in
and
there,
Dave Scott.
Yeah, I had 1-0, same as some of us had as well. We've all said it. They need a win. They need one, and even with a depleted team, I think then it's gone past the point of taking any teams lower down the table for granted. They need to win. They need to dig in with whoever's on the pitch. And Sheffield United, they don't really get spanked by anyone, as we've previously said. So I think it's going to be a narrow 1-0 win. So
Nice. Right, well, that concludes our predictions, baller and donkey of the week. I'll just sort of run through the points that we all got last week on our predictions. So, top scorer of the week with 11 points was Dan Strug.
Really?
He's had an absolute stormer, and he's actually took him top of the table now as well. And the lowest scorer of the week was Dave Scott with 2 points.
keeping my form going.
He only got one result correct out of them, which give you the 2 points. So I'll run through the table from 10th position up. So in 10th is Dave on 8 points. Then in 9th and 8th is Patrick on 14 and Spearsy also on 14.
Even Pat's beating me.
Then in 7th place, we got Hoppers on 15 points.
Right.
In 6th position, we've got Boyle on 16 points. In 4th and 5th, respectively, we've got myself and Greg on 17 points. Top 3, Kyle Jones in 3rd with 19 points.
Well done, Kyle.
Ben G in 2nd with 20 points.
Yeah,
and
good
Strug
week,
with a little bit of a lead now. He's on 24 points, top of the league. So he's
Smashing it.
he's had a stormer so far. He's had 2 exact scores and 7 correct results out of his predictions so far. So yeah, he's the one to beat, boys. But it is possible for us to get a big haul. Like I've said, like he got 11 points this week. Kyle got 11 the week before. So it is it's possible to get a big point score each week. But there we go, boys. That concludes our episode. We will record another one after the weekend's results, our usual podcast, a bit of a longer one, and sort of run through our opinions on what's happened. Hopefully Pat's on so we can rip the piss out of him a bit more. And yeah, head over to our YouTube, guys, like and subscribe the channel. And yeah, please download the podcast on any podcast platform that you use. Nice one, guys. Until next time, all the best.
No.